Hello po mga ka-viral and welcome back again to this YouTube channel. Latest update na naman tayo ngayon. Kaliwat kanan ang pambabatikos na natatanggap ngayon ng Senado dahil sa naging kilos nila hinggil sa impeachment trial ng Vice President Sara Duterte. Supreme Court kumilos na din at pinapanagot ang Senado. Pati ang Kongreso ay pinadala na din ng Supreme Court ng letter para sagutin ang fourth impeachment complaint kung saan sinunod ba nila ng Kongreso ang impeachment procedure na one-year bar rule ng Article 11 Section 3, Paragraph 5 of the Constitution. May mga netizens ang nadidismaya at nananawagan na buwagin at i-abolish ang Senado dahil sa di umano'y biased at hindi pagsunod sa pagiging impartial bilang impeachment judge ng Senado. Pati sa dating Senior Supreme Court Justice Carpio ay sumali na din sa kilusang nananawagan para sa agarang impeachment at tinutulan ang maaaring hakbang ng Senado na pagdidismiss sa impeachment. Samantala, naninindigan pa rin ang Senado na mahalaga ang jurisdiction sa impeachment. Ayon kay Senator Escudero at Senator Cayetano ay maaaring mabasura o madismiss ang impeachment dahil sa question of jurisdiction. Kung may paglabag sa one-year bar rule of the Constitution, nanindigan si Escudero na walang sinuman ang maaaring makapagdikta sa Senado. Aniya, the Senate has the sole power to try and decide all cases of impeachment. Anumang motion ay hindi bawal dahil wala umanong nalalagay sa Constitution na bawal ang gumawa ng motion. Nirerespeto umano nila ang opinyon ng mga legal luminaries, law deans, and law professors, pati na rin ang opinyon ng dating Senior Supreme Court Justice Carpio. Subalit tangi ang Senado lamang di umano ang binibigyan ng kapangyarihan ng saligang batas na magpasya sa anumang impeachment ng isang opisyal.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Senator Villanueva also said in the same press conference na I hope the Supreme Court will immediately resolve the petitions regarding the impeachment to make sure that we, referring to the Senate, are on the right track. That's what he said. Indication ba to na baka gamitin na naman ng Senado yung unresolved petitions questioning the legality of the impeachment before the Supreme Court para hindi mag-convene as Senate Impeachment Court para ma-delay po yung trial?
Na-delay, medyo na-delay, no? Hindi, ano naman yan, kung ano man ang utos sa atin ng Korte Suprema, kung ano man ang mga kailangan nila, well, the House, the Senate, di mag-comply tayo. Any kind of communication, any kind po na kailangan nila, magko-comply naman wala namang problema doon. Pero sabi nga, klarong-klaro naman po sa ating saligang batas na the impeachment court is an entity on its own. Kaya sabi ko rin po nung nakaraang ambush interview natin, the Senate will try and the Senate must try, no matter what.
Sir, follow-up lang. So hindi, they should not use that as an excuse to, hold the trial in abeyance?
May mga tanong din kasi. So, kailangan nating respetuhin yung mga binato na question sa Supreme Court. Pero again, kabisado niya na itong linya ko. It's a leadership call. It's the impeachment court has already constituted itself. Sila na yan
Last, sir, on my part. The spokesperson of the Vice President, si Ruth Castelo, said yesterday that the country will be able to save millions if the Supreme Court decides to rule in favor of the Vice President. Na yun nga, hindi magkakatrial.
Yeah.
Wala na impeachment trial. The
Siguro
impeachment
kailangan niya ng cost-benefit analysis kasi she can't be throwing around statements like that. Aralin muna nilang maigi. And that, again, it's her opinion. So, opinion kontra opinion lang to. Maganda siguro aralin din nila yun.
Sir, at this point, with the trial yet to proceed, so wala pang basehan yung kanyang statement, would you say?
Siguro premature. Baka, sabi ko nga, opinion lang niya talaga. So, ilan yung savings, ilan yung matitipid, saan ang galing yung hugot niya. So, baka sa next na press con niya, maglabas siya ng matrix. Eh, syempre, di ba, what gets measured gets done. So, kung binabato mo lang yan for the sake of, di ba, sound bites, di okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lenesca. Marian Enriquez from TV5, go ahead with your questions.
Sir, dagdagan ko lang yung sa tanong ni Ate Leonesca. Doon sa sinabi ni spokes Ruth Castello, sinabi nga po niya, we'll be very lucky actually as a country because we'll save millions and millions of money on a trial that is technically defective from the beginning. So tinawag din po niya depektibo itong impeachment case against VP Sara.
Well, it's not defective as per my opinion. So, I guess you better reconsider her statements po. Pero syempre, normal naman na sasabihin niya yun. Again, millions and millions. How many millions? Kaya, saan sa makakatipid na banda? So, pag nasagot siguro yung mga tanong na ganun, baka makonvince ako dun sa argument niya.
Sir, meron pong final na bill si Senator Amy Marcos, Senate Bill number 557 or the President Rodrigo Roa Duterte bill, which penalizes and criminalizes extraordinary rendition. Sabi po niya, what happened to President Duterte should never happen again. Under this measure po kasi pinagbabawal na yung pag-imbestiga, pag-aresto, pag-detain, and pag-transfer ng any individual po to other countries or any international court kung walang consent and kung walang local warrant. What do you think about this bill?
Final naman nila na bill yan eh. So pagdedebatihan nila yan sa Senate, actually I'm quite intrigued kung paano nila pag-uusapan yan dun sa Senate. Gusto kong abangan actually. Tingnan natin kung paano yung tulay niyan, yung bill na yan. Kasi parang nakaka-intriga eh. Na parang may isang tao lang tayo na di ba dapat hindi exclusive ang ang bill eh. Pero nagigets ko naman yung point niya, it shouldn't happen to anyone. So, aralin natin, panuurin natin, tignan natin kung anong, pagdedebatihan yan, I'm sure, may engage yan yung 24 na senators natin. And I'm sure, baka meron ding parallel dito sa House, or meron ding bill contradicting the type of bill they're espousing in the Senate. So,
Last na lang po on my part. Hingin ko na lang din po yung reaction niyo po kasi yesterday in a press conference, sabi po ni Senator Joel Villanueva, they're looking at August 4 to reconvene as an impeachment court. And yung sabi niya po, I quote, "It looks like we are going to wait for 1 week to organize ourselves." At ang House, ganun din po. And then a week after, we can convene the impeachment court and have the defense and the prosecution present their cases. So from the original proposed calendar na July 30, yun pong start of the trial, it seems like mauusog dahil po August 4 daw po magre-reconvene yung impeachment court. Can we get your reaction po?
well, sabi ko, consistent naman tayo, no? Di ba? Sabi ko nga, it's well in the hands of the Senate. Scheduling, the different changes in schedule. May mga ganun naman na mangyayari eh. So, may mga unpredictable tayong scenarios na Pero sabi ko nga, and if they maintain the calendar and their schedule, di okay naman with the House of Representatives yun. Kasi nga, I think the prosecution is also waiting for this. Ang taong bayan, naghihintay din. To take it more lightly, siguro, may formal schedule naman, may formal na communication. Hindi naman yata, ewan ko kung text-text na lang ang mangyayari sa susunod ng mga schedule, pero definitely we will take the lead of the Senate for this one.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Rose. We will take the next question from Kat Porbes of Radio Pilipinas.
Ay, Kong Paolo. Follow up lang po dun sa August 4 po na sinabi po ng Senate na pag-reconvene nila. Sa inyo pong panig, ano po yung inyong mensahe kay VP Sara na at least ngayon meron na pong definite schedule na magsisimula na yung impeachment process na sabi din niya ready daw siya to face, willing siya to face yung impeachment process. Although, yun nga, parang medyo ironically, meron pa rin siyang mga motion for dismissal na nakahain sa Senate Impeachment Court, yung prayer, and even with the Supreme Court.
Yung defense team niya is probably on top of it. So, ika-calendar na lang nila yon. Malamang iti-text siya nung team. Tapos, dapat ready na rin sila by then. And, dapat mag-push na rin po siguro yung date na yun. At sabi ko nga, abangan natin kung magkakaroon ng changes. But, wala. Prep naman na, I'm sure prep na rin yung both sides. So, mahaba na rin po yung time na inantay natin. So, calendar lang sa phone o kaya text siya na ito yung dates schedule natin. So, ganun lang. We have prepare for both sides. And actually, the Senate should prepare also. Kasi pinaghandaan na rin naman na nila. So, bagong Congress na rin to. So,
Sir, sa taong bayan po, ano po yung maipapayo ninyo ano po yung maipapayo ninyo sa taong bayan once nga po na mag-start naman po itong impeachment process?
well, sabi ko nga, naalala nyo yung time na nag-press con ako yung study pa more. Naalala nyo yung time na yun. After that, nanatiling buhay yung talks ng impeachment, nanatiling buhay yung mga usapan ng impeachment. Yun po ang gusto ng taong bayan. Yung engage po sila at alam po nila yung mga nangyayari. Sabi nga po, pero hanggat hindi na open up yung trial, hindi nag-uumpisa yung trial, war of opinions lahat ng mga nangyayari sa atin. Gera ng opinion nito. Why will we argue with opinion? Bakit tayo makikipagdebate sa opinion ng iba't ibang tao, iba't ibang actors? Dapat sa panahon ngayon, ang pinagdedebatehan sa kapaglalabanan na is facts and evidences. So, di ba? Let's fact para maayos.
Sir, last na lang po on my part. Ano po ba yung ine-expect ninyo sana na marinig po sa SONA ng Pangulo this July 28?
Well, ako I'm taking an approach from my district. Alam niyo naman po na di ba taga-La Union naman ako. So I'm from the north, I'm from Region 1. Gusto ko pong makita yung mga iba't ibang plano nila for tourism, infrastructure.
Kong, magandang umaga po. Kong, hingi lang po na reaction doon sa sinabi ni PRRD. Sabi po niya, preposterous daw na inililink siya doon sa mga missing sa Bungero.
Yung medyo sensationalize nga yung sa Bungero case ngayon no. Pero may naman may ongoing na investigasyon. May ongoing na tuloy-tuloy everyday nasa news. So abangan po natin yung mga resulta ng investigasyon na yun. Pero yung sa comment niya, sabi ko nga, opinion niya yun. So kung sa tingin ng iba preposterous, baka pag nakalap po ang mga ebidensya at may mga lumabas na yung mga resulta ng iba't ibang pati yung mga parallel investigation na yan, doon na lang tayo magbabase. Mahirap naman po na ang basis mo is salita lang sa ka-opinion. So kailangan talaga bugbog na tayo sa gera, sa ka-engagement ng opinion. Lalong-lalo sa engagement ng fake news, sa kabatuhan ng fake news. So, kailangan maging mas mapanuri na rin. Pati yung mga statements na nabibitawan na ganyan, kailangan merong kaakibat na responsibilidad yan, lalo sa taong bayan. At kung may mga sektor pa rin na nakikinig sa naniniwala sa'yo.
Kong, hingi na rin po ako, bubuhayin daw yung Quadcom. So may Quadcom 2.0. Tapos, meron daw kayo papaputukin.
Grabe naman. Quadcom 2.0, ano yun? 2.0. Nasabi na ni Chairman Benny yun, di ba, nung last na press ko. Pero ako parang wala pa akong masyadong alam kung anong mangyayari. Pero siyempre excited tayo, di ba? Alam naman natin na part of the success of the House is the evolution of the Quad. Yung nakita natin, maraming umusbong dito yung mga, nakita natin yung mga young guns, nakita natin yung mga leaders ng House, parang innovation siya ng House. Pero as of now, parang, siyempre, abangan natin yung 28th Congress. Pero, oo nga, sa tingin ko, kailangan ng Quad 2.0 kasi nga, marami pa tayong unfinished business, marami tayong kailangan na balikan. At saka siyempre, yung mga Quad bills, saka yung mga measures na kailangan din ni-refile ulit. Pero as of now, wala pa ako masyadong balita sa galaw ng Quad. Pero I'm sure, kasama tayo dun.
Sir, sa latest SWS survey on the impeachment, 66% of the respondents agreed. Kasama po dun sa mga taga Mindanao where you're from, 55% po yung nag-agree rin. 19% disagreed and 15% are undecided on the issue of whether or not the VP should address the allegations in the impeachment. Your thoughts po?
It's a direct expression of what the people says that we are what the 19th Congress did and what we continuously do, holding each officials, the Vice President in this particular matter, accountable to her actions, is a vindication from the public that there's really a clamor ng ating taong bayan na dapat yung public clamor for accountability na mga issues na hindi nasagot ay dapat masagot sa tamang paraan, which is this case, the impeachment trial. So, nagpapatunay po ito na we are on the right track. What we did was actually to serve not any particular political agenda, but for the interest of the nation. And the people understood that message. Kaya yung survey na mataas, na sinasabing kailangan umpisahan ang impeachment trial ay vindication po yan unang-una sa mga sa ginawa po natin na para panagutin kung sino man yung dapat managot without fear or favor. So we're happy personally as one of those who supported the impeachment complaint, affixed my signature. I feel that I'm vindicated and I feel that the people are with us in holding public officials accountable to their actions.
Pero sir, may impact po ba itong public clamor na ito? Because there had been surveys in the past where the respondents agreed that the trial should have already started.
I think the message that the public wants to send to us as public officials is to be more attuned and compliant with what the Constitution says. And the Constitution says that those impeachable officers, if they are facing serious violations, that is tantamount to betrayal of public trust, then impeachment trial, as demanded by the Constitution.
Tanong ko lang kasi di ba meron pa tayong second requirement from the Senate regarding sa impeachment, yung parang certification na itutuloy pa rin ng 20th Congress. Meron na bang usap-usapan dito, sir? Meron na bang lumapit sa inyo about the resolution or meron na bang numbers to actually comply with the second requirement?
What do you mean the second requirement, yung certification? What's actually the exact question? Ano po ba pa? Sorry di ko na... Do we have the numbers?
I mean, sir, meron na bang discussions about that for the 20th Congress? Kumbaga, meron na bang lumapit sa inyo to say na, we will file a resolution, we need the support of this, of lawmakers to certify na itutuloy pa nga ng 20th Congress yung pursuit of the impeachment case?
Yung in terms of, kasi yung continuation of the impeachment trial is actually born out from the issue of the challenge for jurisdiction. So I guess the issue on jurisdiction has already been settled. Kasi nag-start na nga, nag-convene na nga impeachment trial. So whether or not the 20th Congress, the Senate convening into impeachment court in the 20th Congress is concerned, that has already been answered, no, by the Senate. Number two, your question whether somebody approached me, I still stand on my previous position that I support anybody, any officers, especially if the allegations are backed up by concrete hard evidences, to hold all officers accountable to their actions. Sinusuportahan ko yan. And it's very clear. It's out in the public, 200 plus. Hindi ko lang eksakto, 215 ba? Yung 215 members of the House of Representatives signed the impeachment complaint and voted in favor of transmitting the impeachment, 7 in verified impeachment complaints to the Senate. Number 3, I still stand. Number 3 is I would respect and maintain that the PROSEC, the House of Representatives, would be ready for whatever eventualities that may happen. We have capable lawyers, congressmen, members of the House, congressmen, congresswomen, and congressmen. Congress members will also be in the prosecution team to pursue and to work, and to comply with whatever whatever the orders of the courts would ask them to provide.
Sir, isa na lang. Malapit na
Gawin
kasi...
mo lang dalawa.
Malapit na kasi yung budget season, sir. Are you willing again to sponsor the budget of the OVP?
I'm open to any task given to me.
Change, may RBH na po kasing final kahapon.
The amending some provisions, key provisions in the Constitution, kasi matagal na po itong Constitution na ito. Matanda na po itong, kasi mas matanda po itong Constitution sa mga tao na nandito ngayon sa kwarto na ito. I guess we need to make sure that our Constitution is alive, dynamic, that it can also reflect the current situation, the current demand of the country. So ako, that the reason why I supported the effort to amend key provisions in the Constitution, particularly the economic provision, so that we can also be at par and compete with the international market trend. Kasi mukhang wawala na po tayo, medyo nasa dulo na po tayo. So, if there is an effort to again revive the issue on constitutional amendments, to cite specific provisions, then I am up for it.
Sir, how will you address yung fears po ng marami na this will open the doors to political amendments?
Similar to what we have answered in the previous interviews such as this, na I would stick to limiting the discussion on key provisions. Hindi pag-uusapan yung political provisions ng ating Constitution. It is just merely surgical. We target what are the causes of why the country is now lagging behind in terms of socio-economic condition compared to our ASEAN neighbors, and let's stick to that and no longer delve on matters that may affect not constructively the mindset of the people insofar as knowing the political situation, halimbawa, na baka ang fear nila is mapunta doon sa usapin ng pampolitika. So ang akin lang po, ang aking position dyan, similar with our position in the previous Congress, in the 19th Congress, limitado lang po yung pag-uusapan at hindi po mag-i-expand yan sa complete revision ng ating Constitution.
Sir, meron lang pong, baka pwede magpa-comment po. Kasi sinabi daw po ni Senator Joel Villanueva sa informal meeting nila, August 4, ang tinitingnan na pag-convene ng impeachment court at pag-oath ng senator judges. That's a week after po ng pag-open ng first regular session ng 20th Congress. Your comment on that?
Matagal na po namin sinasabi, nirerespeto po namin ng Senado ang kanilang timeline. 5 buwan na po kaming nag-antay, more than 5 months, limang buwan din po kaming pinapakita ang aming respeto sa Senado bilang isang impeachment court. So kung ano po yung sa palagay nila ay tamang panahon or oras na sila ay mag-convene as an impeachment court na naaayon sa sinabi po ng Senate President Escudero na as soon as magkaroon ng SONA ay magko-convene sila ng impeachment, tutuloy nilang impeachment, ay yun po ay respeto namin.
Pero sir, that's a week, hindi po right after the SONA.
Sabi ko nga po, kapangyarihan po nila yan. Kami po dito sa House, we will maintain our position that we respect the Senate convening as an impeachment court and we will comply whatever orders they would ask us to do. Especially the prosec team, they are not only more than able but respectful legislators and respectful prosecution panel.
Sir, may other matters. May final po si Senator Amy Marcos na bill. Ang tawag po niya, President Rodrigo R. Duterte Act na yun nga po, yung pagbabawal po sana na magkaroon ng arrest and ililipat po sa ibang bansa without a local warrant. Your comment on that?
Any legislator or any senator, congressman man po yan or senado, meron po silang kapangyarihan o entitled ho sila na ipasa kung ano man yung mga gusto nilang ipasa. Ang sa akin lang po ay una, if it's about legal issue, if it's about justice and accountability, it should not be selective.
Follow-up? Go ahead, Rose.
Sorry po, follow-up ko lang. Since ang title din ng bill ay President Rodrigo Duterte Act, sa tingin niyo po selective tong bill na to?
I cannot comment on why Senator Amy Marcos chose the name to be the title of her proposed measure. I'm sure she's very open of her bias in favor of the president. So I would leave it at that. Maybe she has that kind of respect to the president. Again, all legislators are entitled to file measures that they think and they deem important to the country. But sa ang position ko po, it's when it comes to upholding justice, promoting justice, and making each and every one of us accountable to our actions, the law and the country and the government should not be selective in its application. Pare-pareho po yan. Pagdating po sa batas, egalitarian dapat po ang ating point of view.
Hi, Kong Zia. Good afternoon po. Sir, kahapon, nag-file po si Kong Benny Abante ng total ban of all forms ng online gambling. Kaya na naman po, nakuha ko yung sentimiento ni Attorney Shell Joc, no? Ang sinusulong ng Akbayan Party List ay restriction or strict regulation. Pero kung kayo po ang tatanungin, Kong, as you've said before, gusto nyo nga na total ban sana. Kung yun po ang point of debate, saan po kayo mas papanig?
Ang sa akin lang, very basic po ang aking proposal at aking gusto. If we want to remove the poisonous tree, you uproot it, not to trim the branches. Kasi ang problema po ngayon sa e-sugal or e-gambling, mahirap talaga i-police at i-monitor dyan. So, hindi ho ako, masakit ko naisipin na sabihin ko natin na i-restrict man lang natin but sabilang nagpa-pop up. So the problem really is not just to restrict it and allow its operation, but the impact of that if we continue on allowing this kind of games online. Kasi digital na nga po yan and everybody has phones, even our children. Ang problema sa ngayon, masyado nang tumataas po yung youth addiction sa gambling because of this online